statistics by the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization. It shows that currently that 1.5 million Nigerians have gone hungry. My name is Abdullahi Khaidralla, a graduate of political science from University of Maiduguri, and I'm from Borno State. I'm very elated and happy to present a research topic titled Food Security and National Development, the Prospect of Lake Chad. And the bottom line, the rationale behind this research topic is to, of course, establish a nexus between security and national development. And what role can Lake Chad Basin play in solving our food security questions? To start with, food as defined by Oxford English Dictionary means any nutritious substance that human beings and animals eat, consume, or drink in order to sustain life and growth. So this definition basically underscores the importance and indispensability of food, the survival of human beings and animals. While food security is defined as when people of a country have physical access and economic access to nutritious and safe food at all times. So in African society, for example, one of the greatest achievements of a man lies in his ability to put sufficient food on the table for his family, an idea prescribed and enjoined even by our holy scriptures, the Bible and the Holy Quran. So applied to nation states, to countries all over the world. Any country that is able to provide sufficient foods for its citizenry has reason to be proud among the Committee of Nations. And diplomatically speaking, it may have the capacity to take independent decisions that promotes the welfare of its citizens and its national interests. Example of the Great Chinese Famine of 1960 can be cited here, when China was suffering from acute hunger because of the Great Leap Forward policy and other natural disasters that they have witnessed then. But with the coming up of Chairman Mao Zedong as their president, with his vibrant leadership, what he focused on was a huge investment in the value chain of agriculture of China. And within less than 3 years, China overcame the issue of food insecurity. And now we all know the position of China in the current global geopolitics. The rest, as they say, is history. So what I'm saying in essence is that if a country is able to solve its food security question, every sector of the economy will naturally thrive. But unfortunately, in this part of the world, in my country, Nigeria, statistics surrounding food sufficiency are so horrifying, disturbing, and grimy. The recent one is that of United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, which says that 31.5 million Nigerians are suffering from food insecurity, and that by the end of the year, 3 million Nigerians will join the ranks. So this is caused, according to the statistics, by natural disasters such as floods and drought witnessed in many parts of the country, and of course other macroeconomic policies of the federal government, which includes the removal of fuel subsidy and the volatile dollar-naira exchange rate, which has skyrocketed and inflated the prices of agricultural inputs and transportation, thereby making it unbearable for our farmers to cultivate more lands. So now, how do we overcome this? This is where the question of Lake Chad comes into. Lake Chad, which was once the largest 6th lake in the world, used to be the major, lifeline or major source of livelihood for about 40 million people, across Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. It has about 179 species of fish. It has about 70 ethnic groups living along the shores across those 4 countries, and most importantly, it used to have about 25,000 square kilometers across the 4 countries, and also it contributes and supplies to over more than 70% of our livestock needs as a nation. But due to issues of climate change and unsustainable water practices, the lake has shrunk from 25,000 square kilometers to less than 5,000 square kilometers. making a lot of people to means their, loss of livelihood. So how do we revive it? For want of time, due to the paucity of time, I will just you to the recommendation reached out by Dr. Sahide Babajide, which includes but not limited to the following. First, he said there is the need to recharge the lake chart. Recharge the lake chart simply means increasing the volume of the water in the lake by diverting it from River Congo, which then flows into the Chari River in Central Africa, and then transport it to the lakes for increase in yields in agriculture, for thriving fishing industry, and for our livestock consumption. Quite a huge investment. It's so expensive. It is a project of about 15 billion US dollars, but with the collaboration of the 4 countries and other development banks such as World Bank and African Development Bank and other funding mechanisms such as public-private partnership, I believe we will be able to realize these ambitious projects. Remember, it has both economic and security implications because our teeming unemployed youth will be engaged in the value chain of agriculture. Thereby, we will prevent them from being recruited into, extremist organizations such as Boko Haram operating along that axis. And then the second recommendation is, of course, the need to combat insurgency and conflict around that axis, which has prevented many of our farmers from cultivating their farmlands. And then the third recommendation is, of course, the need to develop a legal framework for, sustainable damming, irrigation, and water management practices among the 4 countries that share the lake, so that we'll be able to maintain, the lake. Conclusively, a well-fed population will be very active in participating, in our journey of nation building. And also, most importantly, when a country able to solve its food security question, there will be no need to spend billions of naira in a school feeding program. There will be no need to spend billions of naira in importing arms and ammunition. Thank you for your rapt attention. My name remains Abdullahi Khaidralla.